As free agency wraps up and teams shift their focus to the draft, today we're taking a close look at the 2026-2027 NFL schedule for the NFC North and predicting who will be coming out on top. If you enjoy this type of content, support the Gridiron Podcast by subscribing below. We really appreciate it. But before we get started, it's been a little bit since we've had an episode. I know we posted a couple shorts last week. So within the 2 week span that we've had, Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Coming off spring break. That's unfortunately why we didn't have an episode last week, but it's beautiful weather, man. I mean, it's starting to warm up. I'm super excited. We just talked about it here. Opening day for baseballs tomorrow. That's when you know the summer vibes are coming, and yeah, man. I mean, I'm super pumped. How about yourself, man?
I've been busy just with work and doing stuff on my own personal YouTube channel. Been editing day and night so far, been planning different trips. But yeah, been super busy, super excited for baseball coming up starting tomorrow.
Yeah, baby.
And yeah, let's get straight into this episode. All right. So let's start off real quickly with the team schedules. Obviously, we don't know what week they're playing these guys, but some teams do have easier stretches than others. These minor differences could make or break the division. The opponents that each team is going to be playing, we got the Bears, Lions, Packers, and Vikings in the NFC North. We're not going to include the teams that are like when they face the division, just because we know they play each other once at home, once away. So we're just going to talk about the non divisional games for right now. So let's start off with the home games for the Bears. They got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Philadelphia Eagles, Jacksonville Jaguars, New York Jets, New England Patriots, and New Orleans Saints. Now, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I know that we have that Mike Evans trade that happened. I This one is tough because Tampa Bay is always one of those sleeper teams that can beat anybody.
Baker always like puts the Buccaneers in a game, unless they start off really slow. But they're always a high scoring, like mid 20s to high 20s scoring team. Even though with Mike Evans being gone, they still got Chris Godwin. They
Yep.
got I'm blanking on his name, Abuka, and then the other receiver. I think McMillan's their third. I mean, he's okay, but those two receivers, I think, can get them over the edge. But the problem that I have, Nick, is we just got the news that Levante David retired. So there's a
Yep.
gap to be filled at linebacker. They lost Jamel Dean in free agency.
Well, they did get Alex Anzalone. Let's not remember that.
True, true. Their secondary is still a mess, though. That's
Yeah,
my problem. And I think the Bears do have a better defense. And, depending when this game is played, I think the Bears still win it. Home field advantage. They should win this game.
I agree because for sure, like Tampa Bay is one of those teams that can hang with anybody, but the linebacker situation, the secondary situation, and I feel like Ben Johnson, his offensive scheme has always worked against Tampa Bay, and I do feel like he's going to put Caleb Williams in a spot to be able to succeed against Tampa Bay. So that's why I do think Chicago takes it.
We got the Bears at 1-0. The next team at home, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is a loss. No matter what happens with the A.J. Brown situation, the reason why is I still think the Bears' defensive line will not be able to stop Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. I think that's the way to attack this Bears team. I do think the offenses are both talented enough to compete with each other, but I think the defenses they're just a lot different. I think the Eagles have a better defensive line, a better secondary, despite their losses as well. But yeah, I like the Eagles in this game, despite when it's played. I think the Eagles take it.
I can agree with that because we are looking at a Philadelphia team. You mentioned it, Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. that is a dangerous duo back there, and they have one of the top offensive lines in the league. So that is going to be tough to stop. And you mentioned the defensive line; they're going to be pressuring Caleb Williams. We've seen glimpses of Caleb Williams under pressure where he kind of just throws the ball away and potentially in a defender's hands. So that is part of the reason why I do believe that Philadelphia takes it.
We got them at 1-1 right now, going into the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. I think this is a win for the Bears as well. The reason being, I just like I don't know the Jaguars defense. I mean, I know they did have a pretty decent defense last year. I just don't know if T Law can keep up with the Bears offense. I mean, I could definitely see a sneaky loss too. I could definitely see
Yeah,
that. I mean, I could see. I don't know what would be the X factor for the Jaguars. I think the offense would just have to go nuclear because they don't really have a run game,
right.
and they
I,
have
I mean,
Brian
I,
Thomas.
I'm
I
I'm cool
mean,
to put Chicago with the win.
I just think the Bears need to win that game. I know the Jaguars are a playoff team, but I think that's a win in Chicago at least. If it's in Jacksonville, maybe different, scenario. But I think in Chicago, I just think the Bears should win that. So we got the Bears at 2-1. This next game, the Jets going with
Chicago takes it.
Geno Smith, which is crazy. Shout out Justin Fields being a backup, another great backup from the Chicago Bears. The next game, the Patriots at home. Had to throw a dig at the Chicago Bears, dude. The Patriots at home. This was a Super Bowl
I
team
got New
last year.
I got New England.
Yeah, I think New England. I don't know. I mean, I'm cool with the Bears losing this one. I could see it go either way. To be honest, it's a coin toss. So we
I
have the
honestly feel like whenever it is, New England is used to playing in the cold.
yeah,
So if it's
yeah,
a week 15 through 18 game, I can see New England still taking it. And because they are a Super Bowl team, yes, they lost badly in the Super Bowl, but I do feel like New England has the pieces, and there's still a lot of question marks for Chicago, in my opinion,
yeah, yeah,
because you see the secondary that they lost
yeah.
this offseason. So that is a big question mark for me. So I do feel like Drake May against Caleb Williams. I think Drake May takes it with the Patriots. They may not have a better run game, but I do feel like the pass game could favor them. And especially New England's defense has been a staple.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of question marks for Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with the Patriots taking. I think they did upgrade in free agency, so I'm cool with the Bears losing this one. So right now, currently, we have the Bears sitting at 3-2, going into the New Orleans Saints and 4-2. I mean, is there really much to talk about there?
Yeah,
Next game, we got the Bears away at Buffalo, and
Buffalo.
I just don't see a world where the Bears can win that one. Not because they can't compete with Buffalo, but just in Buffalo, home field advantage. I think that's a big one. The Miami Dolphins in Miami. I got to give it to Chicago as well.
Yeah, because there are, with the amount of losses that Miami has taken in free agency, I don't see a world
Yeah.
where Miami takes this at all. I don't even think
Yeah.
it's like anything like a coin toss at all. I think Chicago just goes in there and whoops them
Yeah, it's a dumpster fire over in Miami. Yeah, although my boy Malik's over there, so right
with no
now,
weapons.
yeah,
He's over
exactly.
there with no weapons.
So do we have the Bears at four and
4 and
three, five and
3.
three, 5-3?
Yeah, 5 and 3.
So going into Atlanta with Tua, I just 6 and
Or
3.
Penix,
Yeah,
one of the two.
6 and 3.
Yeah,
I don't think the Falcons are a bad team, but this is just a team last year that was like they could beat the Rams, but then lose to the Panthers, bro. Just made no sense. So going to the Falcons, 6-3 at Carolina. I don't.
I'm
I,
going to take Carolina.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the Bears or the Panthers, excuse me, are a sneaky team, man, and
They added some good pieces in free agency too.
yeah. So
So,
6-4 or
yep,
7-4.
they are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 6 and 4.
6-4 heading into Seattle, and I think that's a
Yeah,
tough game.
6 and 5.
So 6-5 non-divisional games. So if we do the divisional games, let's do that really quick. We got at Green or the Green Bay Packers. I think they split. Personal opinion, non-bias. I actually think they split. I think in Lambeau. I mean, one or the other. I don't. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. So that would be 7-6. The Minnesota Vikings. I'll say the Bears wipe them.
Yep.
9-6. The Detroit Lions. I'll let you take that one away because they're your Detroit Lions. I think it's a split though.
I think Chicago is 0-2 against
Oh,
them.
and really? Well,
Yeah.
actually, they did last
I,
season.
I, I think it's a repeat of last year. Detroit has added some key pieces. They added Damoni Clark, who's probably was the best defensive player for Dallas last year. Let's face it. And they added some key secondary pieces, depth pieces. It is a question mark on Kirby and Brian Branch, but I do feel like seeing seeing the additions that the Lions made, I do feel like they the Lions go 2-0 against them.
Come back to that because we got the Bears at 500. That's kind of nuts. Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers and kind of like the same teams. The Packers at home, we got the Falcons. I think the Packers should win that game. Don't know if you have any disagreements. 1-0 for the Packers. Panthers at home. Do not curse me, man. I mean, the Packers are known for dropping a weird game every year. Um, is this the game though? I don't think so. I don't think the Packers should drop this game. I think an interesting loss will come later on that I'm seeing, unless you disagree. You want to give it to the Panthers
I
again?
I give it to the Panthers.
1-1. I'll not budge. Bills at home. This is a tough game.
Bills take.
1-2. Dolphins at home. Shout out my boy Malik.
Green
Don't
Bay
give it to me.
takes it.
2-2. Texans at Green Bay. I think the Packers are a better team than the Texans right now, just because. Well, are they though defensively? I think the Packers have a slightly better defense, but not by much. And Tank Dell's coming back, Nico Collins,
And they got David Montgomery.
and they got a run game now. I don't know what the Texans' offensive line is like though. So,
They're not anything special. I have Green Bay taking that game
but it'll be another
personally.
close game, I think.
Yeah. And then Green Bay versus Dallas. You got a return of a former Packer player.
Two of them, man. Well, I guess he's already been there, Kenny Clark. But wow, wow. I actually don't
This
know, Nick. I'll let you
so
call it. This
so
is kind
this
of
this
crazy.
one is interesting because this is a toss up for
It really
sure.
is.
Because Green Bay could easily take this, and Dallas could easily take this. With it being in Lambeau, though, I will give it to Green Bay
Yeah, I think it's just
because it is
different.
at Lambeau. So, really, that's the main reason why I think they're going to take it, is because it's at Lambeau.
So far the Packers go 4-2 at home. Away games, we got the Patriots. That's gonna be a tough one.
New England takes it, in my
Four and
opinion.
three in New Orleans. 5-3 in the New York Jets. 6-3. Unless you have a rebuttal.
No.
In Tampa, I mean, I think the defense is just such a liability that the Packers have really good schemes against bad defenses. I just don't. I mean, I
So,
just
what,
don't see
7-3?
7-3, and then at the Rams, I'll give it to the Rams. seven and
Seven and
four,
four.
and then divisional games. I think we go 2-0 against
Chicago.
2-0
So,
against the
Chicago.
Vikings.
Yep, 2-0 against the
So
Vikings.
9-4. Chicago split 10-5. Split against Detroit.
Detroit. Okay, I'll
Uh,
give them a split.
11-6, and then wait, that's it. 11 and
So
6. Let's
so the
do it.
Vikings, we got home against the Falcons.
I don't think it's gonna be pretty for the Vikings, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck 50.
I think they dropped to the Falcons.
A weird one against the Falcons, 0-1. Home against the
They fall
Panthers.
they fall to the Panthers.
I think the Panthers gonna be this good, huh? 0 and
With
2,
the additions that they have. Bills 0-3.
0 and 3. Dolphins, I'll give it to the Vikings. I
1
think
and
they're
3.
better than the Dolphins. 1 and 3. Commanders. This is an interesting
I'll
one.
give it to Minnesota.
2 and 3, and then the Colts in Minnesota. I think the Colts are better.
Yeah.
2
So
and
2 and
4.
4.
Away in New England. 2 and
2 and
5.
5.
Saints. I think they're better than the
3 and
Saints. 3
5.
3 and 5. In Tampa, I think they're
Jets
worse than the Bucks.
4 and 5.
And at the Niners, 4 and 6.
So we have them at 4 and 7 non-divisional games.
So we
And
said
then 0 and
wiped by
2
the
against the
Packers.
Bears, 0 and 2 against the Bears, and 0 and
4 and
2 against the
13.
Lions.
4. Wait, did I just do
They're
math
4 and
wrong?
7,
Oh, 4 and
then
7.
0 and 6 in division. So 4 and 13.
I mean, that's pretty brutal.
I
I mean,
mean, we can agree on this. It's definitely going to be tough on
no,
Minnesota.
yeah. I mean, we'll have to definitely come back to this in another episode to really digest this, but
The Lions.
let's do your lines.
So home against the Saints, 1 and 0. Home against the Buccaneers. They've had their number over the
Yeah,
last couple of years.
I'll give
I'll
it to
say
the
2 and
Lions.
0. Home against the Patriots. This is tough because Detroit has the weapons on both offense and defense. And with the Patriots offense kind of 50-50,
We're we were gassing up the Patriots though against the Packers and Bears like they would just mop them. So realistically, I mean, it all depends when they're playing. It doesn't matter because it's an indoor stadium in Detroit, but
yeah.
I don't know. I actually do not know.
I think the Detroit crowd will help them win it. That Detroit crowd is
It is different.
insane.
I'll give it to Detroit. I'll give it to Detroit. I don't
So
think the
3 and
Patriots
0.
can. Yeah, 3-0.
The
Jets
Jets 4 and 0. Titans
5-0.
5 and 0. Giants 6 and 0.
I think they lose to the Giants. I think the Giants. The reason why is I think they might be sneakily better than what they might look like. Harbaugh, Dart, and the Lions do drop another weird game too.
Yeah.
And they're a
I'll give
competitive
them
team.
5 and 1. I'll give
All
them
right,
5 and 1.
5-1.
Away against the Falcons 6 and 1.
Bills 6-2.
6 and 2, yeah. Panthers
They're
7 and 2.
They
7
better
and
be
2.
6-3, dude. That is just bias. I'm gassing up the Panthers until it's my team, dude. That is crazy. No, do the Panthers seriously sweep the NFC North? Oh my gosh.
So what? We're at 6 and 3.
6-3. Dolphins
7 and
7-3.
3. Cardinals
Cardinals
8 and
8 and
3.
3. Wow. And then we said divisionally, so they sweep the Vikings. So
Sweep.
10-3.
Yep. Sweep the Vikings, sweep the Bears, and split with the Packers.
12-3. 13-4. Okay. This is definitely something to come back to. We took a minute on that.
Right now we have Detroit in first place.
Yeah.
We have Green Bay in second place.
Yeah.
We have Chicago in third place.
Yeah.
And we have Minnesota in fourth place.
Yep. We're getting flamed for this. 100%. Let's go.
I mean, Minnesota in fourth place. That should be a given because of the additions that each one of these teams has made in the offseason, and Minnesota really hasn't done much besides for sign Kyler Murray to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, no, I mean, Minnesota's not going to be the disagreement here by any means. No, it'd be interesting to see what people say or think.
Yeah, so if you disagree with our take on any of these NFC North teams, drop your prediction down in the comments. We love hearing from you guys. All right, so let's talk about these offensive lines. In the division, the trenches often play a big part for these teams. Let's see who we believe has the best offensive line going into next season. All right, so Minnesota's offensive line, at left tackle is Christian Garrisow. Left guard is Donovan Jackson. At center is Michael Jorgens. Right guard is Will Fries. And right tackle is Brian O'Neill.
I
Lions
mean,
offensive line.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you finish them.
Lions offensive line. This is as of right now with the rosters. Left tackle Larry Barome. Left guard Christian Mahogany. Center Cade Mays. Right guard Tate Ratledge. And right tackle Panay Sewell. Bears offensive line, left tackle Braxton Jones, left guard Joe Tooney, center Garrett Bradbury, right guard Jonah Jackson, and right tackle Darnell Wright. Packers offensive line, left tackle Jordan Morgan, left guard Aaron Banks, center Sean Ryan, right guard Anthony Belton, and right tackle Zach Tom.
I mean, off the rip, I think we can just get rid of the Vikings offensive line. I think Christian Garrison is really good, but that's like I mean, Fries is okay, but with their center and Kelly retiring, I think that's a big loss for them. So I do think there's a lot of problems within that Minnesota offensive line. I don't think it's the best, especially in the North. I think right now, I mean, I want to hop over to your Detroit Lions and let's talk about the Detroit Lions because they're going into a rebuild themselves. So I'm interested to hear, do you think they're better than the Packers or Bears offensive lines going into the season?
So it's interesting because you have a very young offensive line. Larry Barome,
Yep.
now in his fifth season. He's a Detroit native, grew up in Oak Park, Michigan. You have at left guard Christian Mahogany going into his third year. You have Cade Mays at center from the Carolina Panthers going into his fifth year. Tate Ratledge going into his second year. And Panay Sewell now going into his, I want to say his fifth. I think any offensive line with Panay Sewell is automatically pretty good. He's a very good communicator. Cade Mays is a guy that can play any position. Same with Larry Barome. I have seen potentially Taylor Decker coming back and them moving Larry Barome to like a second string. But I do see this offensive line. It's tough because of that young core. And we'll have to see how they fit in with the Lions offense. I do feel like all of these guys are Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes guys. Cade Mays did really solid in Carolina, and Larry Barome is a guy that is quick on his feet, can learn very quickly, and is very strong. I think he benches like 650 or something like that. I saw. So he is a very strong guy. And Tate Ratledge was a guy that kind of came out of nowhere in terms of his skill. He was able to put it on display last year, giving up only one sack all year for a quarterback of Jared Goff, who I think was third in the league for sacks taken. And we'll have to see the health of Panay Sewell because right now he is injured and listed as injured. So we'll have to see come training camp and all that fun stuff. We'll have to see how he comes out. But I do feel like they just. I think it's close with the Packers. I don't think they're better than the Bears, but I do think it's close to the Packers because the Packers, you can see a little bit of weakness at certain aspects of that offensive line. The Lions, it's the same thing. The Bears, I think, have the better, well rounded offensive line in the division, especially when you have a guy like Joe Tooney. It is difficult now that they have a different center, as their center also retired. So it would be very interesting to see. But I do feel like it would probably go, in my opinion, Bears, then Packers and Lions are interchangeable, whether how you look at it, and then Vikings.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looking at the both Packers and Lions, I mean, we can both sit here and say, I think from a Packers fan, the left side just looks weak. I mean, both
Mm-hmm.
of our lines. Now, the reason for the Packers is you talk about, new offensive lines, younger guys. I mean, look at the Packers right now. These guys are all
Yeah,
new. I mean, they got rid of all their veterans besides Aaron Banks on this line, who is that left guard, but he's been okay. He's been getting better, had a better year last year. But these other guys are kind of unproven.
yeah,
And Anthony Belton had an okay year. Didn't really. He was a second string. Didn't really do well. Zach Tom is the only elite guy on this squad. I mean, he's PFF grades up at like an 80. He's a great run blocker, pass blocker. He's just fantastic all around.
yeah.
The
Both teams have
problem,
really good right tackles.
the problem is for the Packers is the center position and that left tackle. I mean, Jordan Morgan isn't bad. He improved, but he's not also great. I mean, he's not a great run blocker. Sean Ryan had a terrible year last year, and he got paid to be the sixth highest center, I believe, if that's not changed by now. So they're betting a lot on Sean Ryan, and these guys are young. So I know I said it in a episode before that it'll be interesting to see how this line works out. It probably will take a few weeks to kind of get better and better, but as if for the As for the offensive lines, I think in this division, yeah, I don't disagree that the Chicago Bears have probably one of the best offensive lines in football. I mean, if you're going to replace a center, who else but Garrett Bradbury? I mean, that
Yeah,
guy is one of the best, and Darnell Wright's getting better. Joe Tooney, as you mentioned. I mean, just
and Jonah Jackson too.
Jonah Jackson's getting better too. Just the left tackle for them is the only weak position. Braxton Jones is okay, but
Yeah,
I mean,
I
if you
think
got
that
it,
left tackle position for all four teams is very questionable. I do feel like the right tackle for each one of these teams is probably one of the best. Maybe
yeah,
Vikings is probably right guard with Will Fries.
yeah.
But
Wow,
I
that,
mean, you mentioned Packers,
whoa,
Zach Tom, right tackle, then Lions, Panay Sewell. So I
wait.
do feel like the left tackle is definitely the weak side. And that happens to be where the best edge rusher is for each one of these teams is on that left side. You have Micah Parsons, Aiden Hutchinson. So it's going to be really tough on these offensive lines, especially on that left
Wait,
side.
okay, I didn't actually notice that until you pointed it out, but isn't that diabolical?
It is super diabolical.
How can that actually be? I mean,
I have
what?
heard reports that if they bring Taylor Decker back or if they sign another offensive lineman, they are going to move Panay Sewell over to that left tackle position, as that is what he played in college at Oregon. I
Interesting.
have heard reports of that.
Yeah. That's super interesting. I mean, the reason why we bring up the offensive lines, I think you can agree with me on this, Nick, but each team, besides the Vikings, has a decent run game, and I think it all begins with the trenches. How good can you pass block for your quarterback with these elite pass rushers, as you mentioned? And I mean, it's super important because all games start with the trenches. If a team's not able to get pressure on your quarterback, you have a lot of time to make a play. And we all know Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, Jared Goff. I'm not going to even mention the Vikings quarterback because they just don't have it. But all three of those guys are able to make a play when needed, so you don't want to give them time. But that's super interesting. I mean, I actually am mind blown by that you pointed that out
The
because
blind side for all these teams is rough.
yeah, yeah. So
But yeah, this NFC North division is closer than a lot of people think, and small details will determine who comes out on top. If you disagree with our prediction for the division winner, let us know your thoughts. We want to hear them. Next week, we'll dive deep into the NFL draft, breaking down each team's needs and which player could fill those gaps. Make sure you tune in, and as always, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with more NFC North analysis.